Hey guys, how's it going? Welcome back to my channel and welcome if you're new. I'm Nika and I make book related videos, and today's video is going to be yet another book haul video because I obviously cannot get enough of buying books. Well, to say the truth, I didn't buy every book that I got. Some were review copies and some were gifts, but you get my gist. I love getting new books, and yeah, I do have a few gifts in here this time, and I'm really very grateful to my friends who sent me all of them. And without any further ado, we're gonna dive right in. Don't forget to click on the thumbs up icon if you like this video and subscribe for more such book videos. I have seen that my book haul videos generally tend to do better, so I'll link my book haul video down in the description box as well, so you can check them out if you are interested, if watching book haul videos are your life as it is mine. Because in my last book haul video I actually bought about 62 books, so that was quite a lot, and I had a lot of fun going over all of them. And without further ado, this time, yes, we are finally gonna go back right into the shebang, and yeah, hope you enjoy. See you. Alright, so first let's talk about the 3 books that I got as gifts from my friends. The first one I would like to talk to you all about is a fantasy book, and it is The Kingdom of Beck by Mary Lou, and this was gifted to me by my dear friend Sindhu, and I'm so very grateful that she gifted me this book. So basically, let me tell you what I know about this book, which is admittedly not as much as I should. But anyway, so if you have read Virginia Woolf's A Room of One's Own, you know that she brings up this just an example. What if Shakespeare had a sister, Judith Shakespeare, and the only reason she could not be as great as Shakespeare was because she was not allowed to write anything, because she was a woman. She was only expected to marry and give birth and look after the household. You know what I mean? So what Mary Lou does in this book is that she really redefines, gives it a fantasy twist to what William Shakespeare and his sister could have done, because in the book The Kingdom of Beck, what Mary Lou does is that she brings in this character Nannerl. I think that's how, I don't know if that's how you pronounce her name, but she is a sister of Wolfgang, and I'm assuming is Mozart. And the basic premise is that she wants to be a composer. She's great at it, but then she is a woman in 18th century Europe, so she can compose until only she is of marriageable age. After that, she'll get married, and the usual burden that befalls a woman. So at the same time, her brother is also displaying a unique genius for composing, and she has basically almost given up hope, because very soon she'll be of marriageable age, and then she'll have to stop composing, get married and have kids. But then a magical stranger appears, and who basically tells her that he can make sure that her dreams come true, but the cost for that is going to be very high. That's all I know about this book, and but that is not to say I'm not excited about it. Once again, thank you to my friend for gifting me this book, and I'm really very excited to read it. So the next 2 books I got were from my dear friend Annie, and they are firstly The Castle of Orton by Horace Walpole, and we have The Flowers of Evil, or as more particularly known, The Scandalous Les Fleurs du Mal by Charles Baudelaire. I hope I pronounced it right, because I haven't practiced my French in a really long time, ever since classes ended. So anyway, let's talk about The Castle of Otranto by Horace Walpole. This is perhaps the first horror or gothic novel that came out, and it is the first supernatural English novel, and one of the most influential works of gothic fiction, and it came out in 1764. So basically, it's going to be very interesting, and I'll tell you a bit about the synopsis from the back because I think it explains best. The novel tells of Manfred, Prince of Otranto, whose fear of an ancient prophecy sets him on a course of destruction. After the grotesque death of his only son Conrad on his wedding day, Manfred determines to marry the bride-to-be. The Virgin Isabella flees through a castle riddled with secret passages. Chilling coincidences, ghostly visitations, arcane revelations, and violent combat combined in a heady mix that terrified the novel's first readers. So I'm really excited to read it, and this is a beautiful edition. It's the Oxford World's Classics, and I really like them because they almost always contain this introduction, which is really good if you want to know more about the book, about the history and everything, and if you want to not just read the book for fun but really analyze it. So I want to thank Annie for gifting me this book. We actually gifted both of we gifted each other because it was sort of like our graduation gift to each other. And she has also been my study partner for these 3 years in university, and one of my best friends ever, and I'm so glad that I met her, was with her for these 3 years, and I hope we'll meet again sometime soon. Let's see if COVID allows us. So the next book is Charles Baudelaire's The Flowers of Evil, and this is a very great edition. I was about to say edition because it includes a parallel French text. So what happens is that this is the book, and on the left side we have the poem in French, and on the right we have the poem in English, the exact translation from the left to the right, except it's in English, and I think it's really great. And this is a really wonderful poetry collection, and it was really scandalous when it first came out. The profound originality of Charles Baudelaire is to represent powerfully and essentially the modern man, and basically T.S. Eliot also called it the greatest example of modern poetry in any language. It shocked the literary world of 19th century France with its outspoken portrayal of lesbian love, its linking of sexuality and death, its unremitting irony, and its unflinching celebration of the seamy side of urban life. The volume was actually seized by the police, and Baudelaire and his publisher were tried for offences to public indecency, and 6 poems of these from the whole collection were banned in a conviction that was not overturned until 1949. And basically this is a new translation which contains all the poems, and it restores those especially 6 banned poems to their original places, and I'm really excited to read it, especially because it is going to be an amazing one. There are also some introduction notes, textual notes, and some explanatory notes as well, and I am hoping to really go through it smoothly, slowly, so that I can devour all the poems, all the the essence of the writing. So the next 2 books that I got were from my friend, and I actually bought them off her from Kirei Books and Key. I'll link her channel down below so that you can check out her amazing videos. Her son and her daughter are both so cute, and her son, who also often stars in her videos, is rather the star of her channel, I must say, and he is so well spoken and so beautifully interacts with the camera. I love him. So I bought 2 books from her because she's moving house, so she was looking for a home for all of these books, and I thought I was interested in getting the books anyway, so why not just buy them off of her, especially when they are available to me for so cheap. So I got them. Alright, so the first book is A Burning by Megha Majumdar. I have seen this everywhere, and surprisingly, however, I have seen that people have 2 very polar reviews, or 2 very polar thoughts for this book. Some people seem to love it and some either hate it, but I'm really excited to read it. Let me just tell you, this is about 3 unforgettable characters who find their lives entangled in the wake of a catastrophe. They seek to rise to the middle class, to political power, to fame in the movies. One is Jeevan, a Muslim girl from the slums, accused of executing a terrorist attack on a train because of a careless comment on Facebook. The second is P.T. Sir, an opportunistic gym teacher who hitches his aspirations to a right-wing political party, only to find his own ascent linked to Jeevan's fall. And the third is Lovely, an irresistible outcast who has an alibi that can set Jeevan free, but at the cost of everything she holds dear. Taut, symphonic, propulsive, and riveting right from the outset, A Burning has the force of an epic while being so masterfully compressed that it can be read in a single sitting. Majumdar writes with dazzling assurance at a breakneck speed on complex themes that read as the components of a thriller: class, fate, corruption, justice, and what it feels like to face profound obstacles while nurturing big dreams in a country spinning towards extremism. And the most amazing part of this is that it is annotated. I'm not sure if you can see. We have one instance here, and then when I want to show you, I cannot even see the pages, and then we have a mark that was made by Katie on this page because I am assuming something important happened here. And yeah, I just love going through marked, and she has some more cute bookmarks, book tags. So happy. Yeah, I love going through annotated books because they give you a sense of what the reader felt like when they were reading the book. So I'm really looking forward to reading this with Katie's point of view assisting me as well. So, and the second book which I got from her is The Housekeeper and the Professor by Ogawa. I honestly don't know much about it except that it has a very pretty cover and I wanted it for myself, and I think I think it has a lot to do about memory. I'm not sure because I must have read about it a long time ago, but basically I'll tell you about the synopsis a bit. Every morning, the professor and the housekeeper are introduced to one another. Because of a head injury 17 years ago, the professor only has an 80-minute memory. Although he may not remember what he had for breakfast, his mind is alive with elegant mathematical equations from the past. He devises clever maths riddles based on the housekeeper's shoe size or her birthday, and the numbers reveal a sheltering and poetic world to both the housekeeper and her 10-year-old son. With each new equation, these three lost souls forge a bond that runs far deeper than memory. Again, it is also translated work, and it has French flaps, which I really enjoy. I mean, these are called French flaps, right? I think so. So I really like them, and sometimes when you don't have bookmarks, they're really great to make sure you remember which page we're on last. So yeah, I'm really excited for this book as well. Then, for a change in scenery, let's talk about some review copies which I have received recently. The first book that I have to show you is one that I've already read, and it is The Great Garden by Meg Rossoff. This was sent to me by Bloomsbury, and I'm really happy. I loved it. I think it is really reminiscent of The Great Gatsby, and I talk more about it in a vlog that I did exclusively for the first week of October. Like all the books I read during the first week of October, and I read 8 books, which was amazing. And I read this book during that first week. So yeah, I think you should definitely check it out if you're intrigued. If you liked The Great Gatsby, I think you'll really enjoy reading this as well. So needless to say, 5-star book. Really loved it, and I am hoping to picking it up again very soon. And the next book is another book which I've read and really enjoyed. Again, another book that features in that week-long video, and I think you should definitely watch it again. So that is Bhairavi, The Runaway by Shivani, and this was sent to me by Simon & Schuster, and I'm really very happy and grateful to them that they did. Firstly, because it's a translated work, and it really goes for the Women in Translation hashtag, because Shivani was a really popular author for the Hindi speaking belts of India who loved her works, and she was really popular. So yeah, I'm really happy that I read this book. I think it was amazing, especially the aspect of human relationships in this book went down really well. Human relationships, what effect they have on you, versus what lack of human relationships can do to you. I hope I'm saying that right. I mean, if you read the book, you'll probably get me, I think. But again, another amazing book which I rated 4 out of 5 star, and I think you should definitely pick it up as well. The next 2 books were sent to me by Rupa Publications, and I'm so happy because they are some very cool books. Okay, the first one is by Abir Kapoor, and it is The Most Notorious Jailbreakers: Untold Stories of Escaped Convicts. Need I say more about the book? I mean, I was hooked on by the very title itself, because I just find reading about true crime and about criminals. If you've watched Mindhunter, for instance, you'll really enjoy that in this one, I think. So anyway, about crime, criminals, seeing their psychology, seeing their thinking and everything, I really was intrigued by this book, so I got it. So I had to ask them for this one, and I'm really happy. I think this is also going to be a really short read, as you can see. So And I think this is the first time that I'll be reading about criminals and basically their escapades and everything about criminals, about the criminal system, especially set in India, because I don't think ever before I've read anything set in India in this world. So really excited for this. And then the second book that they sent to me is Anamika by Meghna Desai, A Tale of Desire in a Time of War. And firstly, I really love the painting. I am not an art history major, so I don't know much about art, but this really reminds me of, you know, how art was made depicting the Mughals and all of that. Really love it. This is amazing. Alright, so let me tell you a bit about the book. It is the 18th century. Emperor Aurangzeb has fallen. The Mughal Empire is a shadow of its former self, and India is rife with civil war. In these times of Gardi, you'd have to be a lion to win power and a wolf to keep it. When the beautiful Savitri, the only daughter of the chief minister of Purana Zilla, marries into a rich merchant household in Ranipur, she becomes Anamika. But basically, a tragic accident on her wedding day renders Abhi, the groom, paraplegic, seemingly dreaming the perfect future. Anamika still finds bliss in her love for her husband, but her in-laws' unfulfilled dreams of progeny threaten to consume and destroy her. But into her life enters Abdul, the illegitimate son of Shah Ahmad Khan, locked in a deadly war with his brother Hassan for the throne. So, intrigue, political intrigue, romance, forbidden romance, all of that. I'm really hooked for this one, and I think I am going to make a reading vlog out of this one as well, because this is just the type of historical romance, or I won't even say historical romance because I don't know for sure, but historical fiction set in India, especially during the end of the Mughal war, more or less the end, because with the fall of Aurangzeb, you know how it gets. So yeah, really excited for it, and I'm looking forward to reading it and delving more into the complexities of relationships, of everything during that time. So another book on my immediate TBR. Next up, I'm so happy to say that after a long time of waiting, this book finally reached me, and it is Beyond Forever by Anee. Now this is book 3 in a trilogy, and let me just show you the trilogy. I have them here. Can you see them? No, you can't. Alright, just a second. So this is the trilogy, and I'm so happy that I could review all of them because I really enjoyed it. The first book is First Came Forever, which I read quite some time ago, but needless to say, I really loved it. And then is Forever Disguised, and lastly is Beyond Forever. And I'm really excited to be delving into the third, because I waited a long time after book 2, so I was like, what's gonna happen now? I won't give you a spoiler, of course, so I'll just tell you a bit about the first book, which sets up the whole trilogy. And the first book is First Came Forever. First love, a promise of forever, a lie that changes everything. Backpacking with her high school friends, Erica Lindell's life takes for a thrilling new turn. Meeting the fascinating Shasha Iles, she can't help but fall completely and irrevocably in love with him. When he feels the same way about her, Erica finds herself drawn into a fairy tale love story that will set her life on a new direction. But Shasha has kept his true identity a secret. Finding out who he really is, Erica must overcome the betrayal and make the hardest choice of her life. Can she give up her own dreams to live in his world, or live and lose him forever? First Came Forever is an enchanting, heart-wrenching story, really it actually is, about finding true love and the devastating consequences it can lead to. What price is too high to pay, even for love? So I hope that really intrigued you, because let me tell you, it's a really good book, and although I read it, I think 1 or 2 years ago, I really loved it. So I'm really excited to pick up the third book as well, and I'm so very happy and grateful to Anee for sending me this book, and really looking forward to reading it. Again, expect a reading vlog for this book as well. Alright, so we have reached the last part of this book haul, because the next 5 books that I got, they were actually on sale, so I got them. And but that is not to say I haven't wanted them for a long time, because most of these are kind of like classics. So the first book that I have to share with you all is Giovannis Room by James Baldwin. Now, I have struggled a lot to get this book. I don't know why this book is unavailable on Amazon or Flipkart. I have no idea, but when I saw that it was available on Flipkart, I just buy now. Obviously I cannot wait, because it's hardly ever like really available. It's very, very elusive. Basically, this is like the OG romance book. If you loved, gay romance, by the way. So if you loved reading Call Me By Your Name, I think you will definitely love reading this as well, because let me just tell you about the book. Love can be dishonest. When David meets the sensual Giovanni in a bohemian bar, he is swept into a passionate love affair. But his girlfriend's return to Paris destroys everything. Unable to admit to the truth, David pretends the liaison never happened, while Giovanni's life descends into tragedy. Full of pining, gay love, and just plain literary wholesomeness. I think you should definitely read it if that's what you're looking for. The next book is again another classic, which I should have got long time back, but it is Dante's Inferno. Still haven't read it. It's a pity. I don't know how I can call myself a literature major. But basically, this is one of Dante's greatest epic poems. So let me just tell you a bit about it. As you can see, it's quite short. There is no greater sorrow than to recall our times of joy in wretchedness. Considered one of the greatest medieval poems written in the common vernacular of the time, Dante's Inferno begins on Good Friday in the year 1300. As he wanders through a dark forest, Dante loses his way and stumbles across the ghost of the poet Virgil. Virgil promises to lead him back to the top of the mountain, but to do so they must pass through hell, encountering all manner of shocking horrors, sins and evil torments along the way, and evoking questions about God's justice, human behavior, and Christianity. Must read, especially if you want to read the classics, and by classics I mean the OG classics, Iliad, Odyssey, Aeneid. Then you should definitely also try out this one. I have not read Divine Comedy either, but I think I'll start with all of Dante's works by reading Inferno. So yeah, that's that. Then the last classic from this whole collection is Les Miserables by Victor Hugo. This will also be my first Victor Hugo, because after this I really intend to read The Hunchback of Notre Dame. And I think this is an unabridged book, but isn't the abridged, I don't know, I really don't know, because I thought it had to be much thicker, but it's only this much. This is obviously the translated version, because the original is in French. So yeah, I have not got a whole lot of idea about it, but I'm really hoping to reading it. In Les Miserables, Victor Hugo takes readers deep into the Parisian underworld, immerses them in a battle between good and evil, and carries them to the barricades during the uprising of 1832 with a breathtaking realism that is unsurpassed in modern prose. Within his dramatic story are themes that capture the intellect and the emotions, crime and punishment, the relentless persecution of the peasant Jean Valjean by Inspector Javert. I'm trying to bring back my French accent, but that's not passing really well. The desperation of the prostitute Fantine, the immorality of the vogue Thénardier, and the universal desire to escape the prisons of our own minds. Les Miserables is an extravagant spectacle that dazzles the senses even as it touches the heart. Need I say more? That's that. The next book I will be talking to you all about, the next two books, the last two books actually, they are rather for our book club, which is the Assam Book Club, or the Assam Bookstagram as we are better known on Instagram, which is basically a book club where we read books from the Northeast, from the eight states of Northeast. And in the first month of September, we read Undertow by Janavi Goswami, which I really love. 5 out of 5 star. I'll link the video, the reading vlog I did for it, so that you can definitely check it out. The book that I bought, the two books, the first book that I bought is Don't Run My Love by Kirei. Now this author Kirei is from Nagaland, and yeah, this book is set in Nagaland, one of the states in the northeast. And you know, Kirei's first novel was A Naga Village Remembered, and it was also the first Naga novel which was published in English. So I think that the problem with northeastern literature is that many are still not translated into English. They are still in the process of being translated. So you can imagine if this book was like one of her books was the first to be written or published in English for Naga language, from the Naga language, that says a lot, right? So I think that is the whole reason why our region's literature is not explored much, and people are basically deprived of reading the amazing literature, the amazing themes of that are present in our literature. So since these are available in English, I think you should definitely check them out because they're amazing. Don't Run My Love, basically, let me just tell you about the little teaser at the back. Anyone who sets eyes on him, man or woman, young or old, had to admit that he was a beautiful creature indeed, the young man who called himself Kevi and who walked into the lives of the two women at harvest time. So really excited for this. And the picture is also very, very beautiful, the cover. It's very vivid. And the last book on this whole haul is a book which is set in Sikkim, one of the states of the northeast again. It's Legends of the Lchas, Folktales from Sikkim by Shidoma. There are also illustrations here. Let me just show you one. Of course I'm not gonna find them when okay, so here is one, beautiful, and the illustrations are by Pankaj Thapa. So basically the Lchas are a tribe of people who are from Sikkim, or the district Darjeeling of West Bengal, Ilam district of eastern Nepal, and the southwestern parts of Bhutan. They have ancient lore to suggest their inheritance in the region from times immemorial. So yeah, these include various themes, and there are appearances by gods, goddesses, people, animals and nature in a cohesive world where one cannot do without the other. So the whole idea of balance, as you will see, is very much prevalent in the books of the northeast, because I think it's because we are people who are very much attuned to nature, to our culture, and this relationship with Mother Earth. So I think this interdependence with nature, with the whole ecosystem, is very much prevalent and very much present in all of the books that come out from our beautiful northeast. So this is the last book in the haul, and yeah, with that we come to the end of this book haul video, and I hope you really enjoyed it. I certainly had a lot of fun going over all of these books, and I hope this video will tide you over until my Flipkart Big Billion Days haul goes up. To be honest, I'm actually thinking that I'm going to be very, very frugal this time and not just buy anything that I want to buy. I'm going to control myself and buy only books that I really need to. So I don't know, it might not be that many, but we'll see how it goes. And I hope in the meanwhile you enjoyed this video, and if you're intrigued, you do check out all the books that I showed you all. And if you do read them, if you are planning on reading them, don't forget to just drop a comment below either here or DM me on my Instagram, so that we can definitely do a buddy read, because I live for buddy reads. So yeah, like the video, do share and comment, and I'll see you again next week with another wonderful video. I've got some amazing ones lined up this time, and I'm really hoping that my brain doesn't stop giving me any more ideas after all of the videos go up. So here's to hoping. I'll see you again next week, same time, same place, probably in the same place. But yeah, I'll see you again. Take care. Bye bye.